The ceremony that gives today its name is unique in the Catholic tradition, but the rest of what we are called to do during Lent is not specifically Catholic or even Christian. Many religions in the world practice prayer and fasting and almsgiving. And in fact, some religious traditions do so even more fervently, more zealously, more strictly than we ourselves do as Catholics. For example, on the Day of Atonement, the Jewish people, according to their tradition, do not eat or drink anything for a continuous 25 hours spanning that entire day. Not even a drop of water is allowed on that day of fast. Those of the Islamic faith do not eat or drink anything during the daylight hours for the entire month of Ramadan. So these traditions that practice fasting and almsgiving and various kinds of prayer, in a sense, do more of it than we do. But the point that makes our prayer, our fasting, our almsgiving unique and specifically Christian is that we do this because we are aware that we are joining ourselves to the great redemptive work, to the atonement of Jesus Christ. We believe that each of us in our own lives, through our own weakness and through our own sometimes perhaps confused minds, contribute in small or great ways to the brokenness of the world. But we also participate with Jesus in the healing of that same world. Because of our sinfulness, we contribute to the divisions of the world. With Jesus, we participate in his reconciliation and reunion of people. Those things that we do, whether great or small, that contribute to evil in the world, we also participate in our daily lives as Christians in the forgiveness and mercy of God. So what we are doing today and throughout the rest of the season of Lent is to do our part to join in that great work of Christ, that great work of his atonement of the world. So whenever we fast or pray or give alms, we do it not for ourselves, not to make ourselves feel good, but to realize that we are participating in the work of Christ. And just as our Heavenly Father sees those things in secret that we do that contribute to the brokenness and the sinfulness of the world, so also Jesus assures us our Heavenly Father sees the deeper desires of our hearts to bring love, mercy, generosity, and goodness into the world in which we live. And we might look at these things that we do and say, but how can my not eating something, my saying a prayer, giving some contribution, what can that do in the face of so many things going on in our world that need attention, that need to be reconciled and need to be healed? And that's precisely the moment when we realize that what Christ is doing by his grace is far greater than what we do. And after all, that is not about us, but it's about our joining with Christ in that great work of reconciliation. We are not the Messiah. We are not the saviors of the world, but we are, as St. Paul reminds us, his ambassadors, those who share the message of the great work of God's grace and mercy, which is even now beginning that healing process and continuing to bring into our world the new gift of God's mercy, God's grace, and the gift of everlasting life.